So, what does the Bible say is the premise to our life, and therefore, what is life? The Bible first makes a grand declaration, and that declaration is found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God is the creator. Outside of him, there is none other. Okay, so that's the declaration. It is simple, it is direct. Uh, there has been no scientific disproving of creation. In other words, all the theories there are in terms of how the universe has come into being does not and cannot exclude the presence or the act of a creator. No matter what theories can come, and anyone can, you know, who loves science as I do, we can love all the theories, and one theory as well as another, they come and they go and they get more enhanced, and there's more science to back one up, and as we progress and we go through it. But no theory has ever disproven the existence of God, and they will never be able to do that. um, God created all these things, and we can just keep looking in the mirror, and keep looking in the mirror, and think that we are here alone, that we're the only ones, and someone made that mirror. It's just the bottom line. But we're not into a discussion of that. Just the fact that the Bible does provide a basis for us uh, to begin to consider. God created the heavens and the earth. God created everything in the heavens and everything on the earth. And so that includes all the plant life, all the animals, and culminating, as the Bible does present it, with man. God created man. He created man just not as the other animals, but he gave man a specific peculiarity. That being that he created man in his own image and likeness. That presents many things to come into consideration. Most of them are obvious. Um, if you do a comparative analysis of life on the earth, you will see that we stand alone as peculiar. Evolution, if you look at evolution and the evolutionary process, I mean, man stands alone in the evolutionary process as being a creature that has, like you would say, evolved uh, magnificently into such a great animal, such a great creature, accomplishing all these great marvels of technology and science, and of thought and philosophy, communication, reasoning, all art, music, right? All those things. I mean, there's no other creature that, given the fact that all creatures have evolved, and given the consideration that we've all been on Earth the same amount of time, I mean, the Earth has been here, and evolution and natural forces have exerted themselves on all the Earth's creatures to one degree or to another in a similar fashion. And I speak more of time rather than particular characteristics of forces that envelop the creatures, the animal entities. We still are alone in terms of our animal peers, in terms of intelligence and creativity, etc., etc. So, that being what it is, still, the Bible gives us an answer, or declares a premise to why we are different than all the other animals. and that is that we have been created first and then created in the image and likeness of God. And so that is the premise in terms of our nature and the characteristics that define man and differentiate us from the other creatures. Then, thirdly, we know that the Bible tells us that man sinned. The Bible says that for all men have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Okay, and so now it gives us a premise now for problems. We know who created the heavens and the earth. We know what was created. And we know that God created man in a special form, in a special way. Now we understand that something happened. That something is called sin. In a rather perfect world, sin came into it, and man fell into the trappings of sin, which is disobedience to God, simply. And so now we have a problem that has blossomed and has manifested itself in a myriad of human issues, social, personal, spiritual. It's just problems all over the place. Sickness, human sickness, and all of that. Death in itself has come out because of this thing called sin. Okay? But, and talking about that, that is where we want to go right now. And the realization that God told man, you see, that day, he said, that you eat of that fruit, you shall surely die. Now, he gave him all the trees in the Garden of Eden with fruit, well, a lot of good fruit to eat, and they were eating good fruit. But he told him that the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat, for the day that thou eatest, thou shalt surely die. He said, the day that you eat, you shall surely die. So there was a day that Adam and Eve did eat of that tree after the temptation, which we won't get into. You can go into my baptism classes, being recorded as time goes by, and you can hear me talk about the temptation when that comes about. But what we want to concentrate on is that something happened. What happened after Adam sinned? Did he die? Is the question. Did he die? It's a simple question to ask. Did Adam and Eve die? Now the atheists will say, right, there you go, bro. They didn't die. The Bible is mistaken. I mean, God says you shall die, and they didn't die. They're alive. I'm going to ask you a question. How do you know that what you call life and what we call life here, or what we know of as life, how do you know that that is indeed the life that Adam and Eve had before they took and bit the fruit and ate? You do reason that you're alive, and you reason that I'm alive, I'm moving. You know, biology states that the basic definition of life is movement. If it moves, it's alive, you know? Okay, so it gets more complicated than that, but movement is a basic indication that an organism is alive. So you figure then, you know, that's our definition, but again, that definition is after the fall of man. After man sinned, we have this definition. But how about there was something more to life? How about if being alive is something more greater than what you and I are living today? See? Because then if God said that day you shall surely die, and according to us we didn't die, then somebody's a liar. And I don't think God would just go and put in the Bible, hey, I'm a liar, look, you see, I said this and it didn't happen. I'll catch you in the next part of this.